Welcome back to Heroes and Villains HQ. Today I have another Black Series review for you from A New Hope. That is Han Solo, to pair perfectly with the Chewbacca figure. Again, long overdue, needed an update. Really excited to get him opening on my shelf. But before we check him out, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below to stay tuned for more Star Wars and Marvel content. But let's go ahead and take a look at Han Solo. But before we jump into the video, I am going to be giving away the Star-Lord Marvel Legends figure at 500 subscribers. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, and when we hit 500 subscribers, I'll release a giveaway video for you to comment on, and I'll pick a winner from there. But back to the video. All right, let's take a look at Han Solo's box here. This is from the New Hope series. He's number 10 in the line, sporting this nice orange color. On the side here, you have a nice mural, and as we saw during the Chewbacca Black Series video, which if you haven't checked out, please do, the two figures match up really nicely with that mural showcasing the Millennium Falcon's cockpit. And then on the back, standard look at the mural again, his number, description, and name. But let's go ahead and open up Han Solo. Another New Hope character, Han Solo, getting a brand new release top to bottom this year, just like Chewbacca. And again, this figure is one that they took their time on in getting right, and overall captures the look of Han Solo in A New Hope perfectly. He does include just one accessory, his DL-44 pistol, which looks great. The mold is perfect. I will say I do wish that they took the time to paint the muzzle here silver and the handle brown. Unfortunately, they didn't. That's okay. It is what it is. But it would have been a nice touch to really add the color there. As for Han Solo, we're going to come back to the head sculpt. Let's take a look first at the boots. Does have boot swivels there. He's got the nice blue pants with the red striping down the side. I will say I must have a kind of an error version, because on this side you can see here the red throughout the leg is the same color, but on this side it's brighter red here and darker here. If that's accurate to A New Hope, let me know in the comments down below. I've never noticed that unless I just have an error version. As for the articulation, you're getting well past 90 degrees in the knees. No thigh swivel there, but you got your standard hip joints. You do have a little bit of motion, actually full motion at the hips there. And then butterfly joints in the shoulders, although you're not getting much because of the vest, which is a very nice molded piece here. It is separate from the main mold of his shirt. And then coming back down, you got this nice belt here with the holster for his pistol. And then coming up to the face sculpt, I don't know. Obviously, these are different characters, but grabbing an Indiana Jones figure here, here's the difference in Harrison Ford likeness, right? This was released 2 years ago. This is the Last Crusade version of Indiana Jones, and then this was released this year for A New Hope. Obviously, different looks, but I think the new version is far clearer, right? The paint is more defined. The sculpt is more defined. It doesn't feel foggy, if that makes sense. But something about the nose, I think, and right around the eyes feels slightly off. I think side profile or slightly side profile, it looks really good, but head on, something feels a little off. But I think the hair looks really good. So again, it feels slightly off. I think it may if they took a little bit more time on it, could have been a little bit better. But I think the hair sculpt, and again the defined paint, and I think if you get in a pose like this, right, slightly off centered, it looks perfect versus straight down. So that's just my opinion on it, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the head sculpt in the comments down below. There's been a little back and forth about this figure and the A New Hope Luke Skywalker, and how those look. And, you know, a lot of people think they look off. I think they both look pretty close. I want to say like 85%, 90% of the way there. But as for the articulation, he does have neck articulation, and then on both the bottom and top here. So really, really good articulation all around. I think even with a little bit of debate on the head sculpt for this figure, this still is the best Han Solo we've had in the Black Series line at all, you know, since its inception. So really happy that we finally get an updated Han Solo. I would definitely recommend this alongside the Chewbacca to add to your collections if you don't already have Han Solo and Chewbacca in your collection. So very happy again with this figure and a lot of the releases I've picked up recently. I feel like Hasbro's doing a pretty good job, although they need to fix their website, but that's a separate story. So we'll talk about that in another video in the future. So what are my final thoughts on the Han Solo Black Series figure? Is this the best smuggler in the galaxy? Definitely. I think even with some of the downsides of this head mold, the rest of the figure is just too good to ignore. And it's a brand new top to bottom Han Solo, one we've been waiting for a long time. So I'm really happy with getting this figure as well as the other A New Hope figures in the line. Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, the Sand Trooper that's coming out this fall. Just they're getting a lot of love for the original trilogy. And even though I'm a prequel kid and love Clone Troopers and Jedi, I'm really happy that we're getting these original trilogy characters back in the line with their definitive versions. So again, great figure, can't recommend it enough. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on your way out so you can stay tuned for more Star Wars and Marvel content. And again, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one.